So I want to talk more here about the LFO and using the type and the speed. So the speed here, in terms when you're not syncing, is going to be in terms of hertz. So but when I'm syncing, it's going to be in terms of whatever this BPM is in terms of, let's say this is 110, and so I can do it in quarter notes, we'll say. So here's quarter notes, there's half notes, I can go to 33/8, quarter notes, 16ths, eighth notes, 16ths, 30 seconds. So I can play it back. And so as I'm playing it back here, you'll notice I'm playing it back and you don't hear it, it's going to just go to quarter note now. I can turn up a little bit more here. And we got it going back and forth. It's pretty cool with the quarter note. And I can go either further with the eighth note. You hear it shimmering more now. So what's with the phasing as well? So bring my phasing back a little bit. So the phasing defines the initial phase of the LFO waveform, which is this waveform right here. So I'm going to sine now, which is sine wave. I like that a little better, not so rigid. And then I've got this panning happening. So the panning, I'm panning. So I turn the panning back to 0. You don't hear it pan so much from left to right. So it's pushing it in this term's right, and this term, and this way it's left. So also we have is the drive here. And so we can drive the sound, obviously. Which you can hear right there, right? So we'll drive to it. And this cutoff here acts on the frequency chosen in our filter. Another section here we have here, we've got this effect and filter. You can see here we've got the low pass and we got the high pass and the bypass. There's a BP also as well. These filters here. And so it acts on these filters right here in the cutoff. Let's go back to 5 now, which is right here. And that's how this cutoff works here, right there. So I'll press it again here. And here we go. And you can hear it somewhat there, the more I move it up there, in percentage terms, how it works with the filter. So it allows to modulate the cutoff parameter of the filters that I've already chosen. So you gotta check it out, see how it works with your system and in your tracks, and it's a really cool effect. I love this effect in the sampler. All right, next here we're gonna talk about the velocity destination, which is the last option in our sampler. So I'm gonna use the same track we had before with the guitar. We'll play it back. Now we have first here at the start. Now this is sort of a built-in modulation sort that allows you to modulate the sample start parameter that we had in the second page, the start parameter we had there in our page here. So good. So I can actually sort of like use positive or negative positions here to get the start of the sampler. So I can shift it around. So best way to do this is play like this. Now watch this. So we're missing the very start of that sample. So we're just sort of gliding back off of the start of it. Now here's the very beginning where we get that strike of the guitar being plucked, those strings with that guitar pick. And so if I do it again, I move up here, we're missing the guitar pick. We're just getting somewhat of the after guitar effect. So this is kind of cool. You can actually do that, or you can get more of that pick. Let's go back to here. So you see, we can sort of manipulate the start point of the sampler here. And this is in terms of velocity and destination. We can also manipulate the decay. A little more decay or less decay you can have. So we can get the decay up further here. Let's get back to here. Let's get the decay up here. Now be careful sometimes if you actually click inside this wheel. around that knob. You see it turns a different color there. And we can write in parameters, which you saw happen right here. We're knowing the velocity destination right there. So be careful of that too. That's very important. So you don't want to have that, so remove it. It's out and we're back to where we were at before. So we also have the cutoff, which works with the filter type selected in the filter section on your filter page. And we have the volume too as well. Which is kind of cool. So I can go back to, if I like what I've got here, I say it's not too bad. I can use it in the track.